Speaking of sitting on things backwards, what year, Sophia, do you think that auto flush toilets started coming around to the masses? Because I remember we got auto sinks and soap dispensers, and then I think it started with the paper towels, right? It started with automated paper towels. Then it went to soap, then it went to sinks, then it went to the toilets. What year do you think the toilets came around?
2000.
2000? Really?
Well, because I was going to say 1990 something, but then I was like, well, maybe not. Maybe not automatic.
Well, my point of saying this is there's a certain point when growing up, I started seeing the transition from manual flush to auto flush toilets, and I kind of got scared, and then I got used to it because I thought, that they had little cameras in them, and I thought that it was a person's job to sit at like the toilet company, and they sit at their desk and they watch everyone, and then when they see you're done doing the bathroom, I would give them a thumbs up in the camera.
Oh, I remember you told me that.
And then they would flush it for me. And then I started saying, I'm done.
Yes, I remember you told me that.
Anyway, that's just how I thought things used to work. So, sometimes it's still give a thumbs up back at the camera,
It's the sensor, Corban. When you stand up, it senses you stood up. So there you go.
Welcome to Rocket Anywhere. Welcome back, I guess I should say. This is the show whose host thought that Sky Mall was like an actual real flying mall. I actually thought that was real until maybe 2 years ago. You don't remember that Grandma used to tell us, she was like, oh, there was Sky Mall. It's like a flying Macy's. So in my mind, I literally just saw North Park Mall with wings flying over America.
And how do you get there, Corban?
You took a helicopter, and the helicopter landed on top of the flying mall, and then you can walk inside and buy your pots and pans.
Okay.
It was a flying Macy's.
See, you cannot be saying who's hosts. Okay, I don't know.
You thought that.
I didn't even know what a Sky Mall was, and I still don't.
Anyhow, today on the show, I don't know. Who knows? It rhymes, though. I like rhyming. Got a little bit of follow-up. We'd like to announce
Follow-up from 3 months ago.
More like from years ago. We'd like to announce Wani.
Has it really been a year?
Probably almost. We'd like to announce Wani's candidacy for president. Wani is running for president.
I remember that.
He's not running as a Democrat. He's not running as a Republican.
Second.
He's not running as a Libertarian.
Hold up a second.
He's running as a Wanitarian.
Stop. Okay. Wait, was our very first episode of the podcast 4 years ago?
It's been 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, because if it was 4 years ago, that's why, they lend in the background talking about Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
That's where Wani for president came from.
Yeah, that's where it came from. So it has been officially over 4 years now of this show, if you can believe that. Wow, we're old.
And Donald Trump's going to get elected again.
They say wisdom comes with age, and boy, do I feel it. It's all in the lower back, let me tell you. Okay. I had another piece of follow-up saying that Just Add Magic came out with their new series called Mystery City.
I still haven't watched it.
We haven't watched it. We watched their big finale thing that came out, but we recorded. Remember, it was midnight.
Wait, that was the finale?
That was their big finale. And we recorded it, but I never released it
I
because...
thought that was the pilot.
We never released it because you were only there for 5 minutes and said you liked it and thought there was going to be another season. Then you went to use the restroom, and I spent the next 20 minutes talking about trains and the Canadian border.
So that was the last episode of the whole season?
Yeah. It was like its own... I don't know. Don't ask. People don't want to hear about this.
Season.
I don't... Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I just wrote a bunch of random stuff down, but I thought, I got right here in my hand this month's edition of the Dallas Child, which we loved reading and still do. So,
I haven't read it in a long time.
I'm opening it up to the title page, and I'm going to read a couple of things, and then you tell me which one you want me to read. So you can read about how to strengthen the relationships with your spouse after kids. Moms and babies, the winners of our annual survey. Mom approved OBGYNs. Seeing past differences, how to talk to your child about kids with disabilities. Travel, exploring Iceland with your kids.
Why does everything have to do with kids?
It's Dallas Child Magazine, Sophia.
Wait.
Loosening your tongue. Tongue-tied can lead to lifelong problems.
Hold up. Wait. Wait. Why did I never get the Dallas Child meant kids?
It's for kids, Sophia. Oh, look. Mom confessions. You know what? Let's read that.
That's
Page 62. Page 62. You're not going to hear 62 page turns. Don't get your hopes up. I was in Bible drill. I know how to move. I know how to get through a magazine.
I was in Bible drill. I know how to get through a magazine.
Yeah. Hey, we do that with Sweetwater catalogs. We're like, prepare your catalogs. Find a Shure SM57. Go. And you have 8 seconds to find it. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go. Mom truths. We took my daughter to see Disney on Ice at American Airlines Center. So now she thinks that Dallas is where all the princesses live. I don't have the heart to correct her. Says Heather from Frisco.
Sorry, but first of all, we need to fix your child, because if your child believes that, then, honey, what does she be watching?
My aging parents moved in with us recently. One day my son was yelling, "Mommy, Mommy, I have a new toy." He was using his grandmother's bedpan and basin for her bedside commode as a shield and hat. Fortunately, they were clean.
I waited till you were done to laugh.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. Don't. That kid is perfectly fine.
Okay, my 3-year-old daughter recently heard me tell someone that I thought her 5-month-old sister was a boy during my pregnancy because of the way I felt. A week later, I'm sorting boy clothes for my cousins, and my daughter asks, "Mommy, is this from when the baby was a boy?" Okay. Also, my ringer is on. It has to be on during this recording because I'm expecting 2 important phone calls. One from a distributor and the other from... Wait, who's supposed to call me today? I don't know. I'll realize when they call me. I've just gotten to that point in my life. Mm-hmm. My daughter got a hold of my Vaseline right before we were about to leave for preschool. I walked into her room and she just turned to me with the biggest smile. I asked her, "Baby, what did you do?"
I can't focus on what you're saying. I'm just laughing.
I walked into her room and she just turned to me with the biggest smile. I asked her, "Baby, what did you do?" And she replied with, "I'm getting pretty."
With Vaseline?
With Vaseline.
That's what Brian says too.
You're getting shiny. You're getting shiny, kid. That reminds me of that TikTok of the boy covered in peanut butter. No, it's the Vine. Remember the Vine? What? The boy covered in peanut butter.
Oh.
He goes, "Oh, peanut butter."
Does it feel good?
Okay. I missed my child's parent-teacher conference. The teacher sent me a sweet email that said, "I hope I didn't keep you waiting too long, that you had to head out. Completely slipped my mind."
What?
Last one. I took the kids to ballet. My 5-year-old son said, "When are they going to stop dancing and hopping around and tell us what's going on?" I explained that they dance the entire time and that there aren't really words. He replied, "Dance the whole time? What's the point of that?"
Wait, why would there be words?
I don't know. Maybe it's like he thinks it's a musical.
Oh, maybe.
Okay, that's mom confessions. I don't know. What should I just flip through here? I mean,
dumb.
It's gotten to the point where I'm just reading out of a magazine because my what you call it, ideas are gone. They don't have well, talking about the Dallas Child, our favorite thing in this magazine was what, Sophia?
What now?
What was your favorite thing? What your favorite part about the Dallas magazine, the Dallas Child magazine? Okay.
Go on. I would literally only read the one page that you'd give me.
Okay, I would give you, though, of those 1 pages, it was always the day in the life of the mom.
1 pages, go on. 1 page. You give me 1 page.
It was a day in the life of a mom thing that we used to read. But there aren't any in this magazine. I can't find it. Maybe
because they don't do anything with their kid anymore. They just hire somebody.
Maybe they renamed it. It said, I think page 16 looks like that might be it. Yes, here it is. A Tuesday in the Life of Linda Black. A special events manager and self-proclaimed world's okayest mom is a Houston native who now calls McKinney home. McKinney? Pff, why are you in this Dallas magazine? In addition to throwing events for CASA of Collin County, wow, that sounds very... Never mind. Of Collin County and clients of Black Event Agency, Linda Black enjoys time with her daughter Caitlin, 15, son Luke, 12, Jasmine the dog, she admits is her favorite child, Moose, another dog, and Mr. Hobo, the cat in residence. Cat in residence. Yes, when his residency is done here, he will be moving on to the Worcester residency. Okay, you want to read this?
I'm not reading nothing.
Okay, I'll read it to you. 5:45 a.m. Alarm goes off. Usually I ignore anything in between and before 6 a.m. However, it's event day. Immediate action needed. Hop in the shower 2 minutes later. Complete the need for a waterproof notepad to jot down ideas that pop in my head. But, okay. The shower is for you to cut yourself off from the world. Nowadays, it's the only place people have where they're not connected to anything.
What?
So don't be bringing a waterproof notepad into the shower with you. 6 a.m. Teen daughter knocks on my bedroom door to ensure I'm up. She has early color guard practice. What even is color guard? Hey, Google, what is color guard?
It's disgusting.
According to Wikipedia, color guards are teams of performers who perform choreographed dances and routines with various equipment to enhance and interpret the music of the marching band show. Color guard teams can be found in American colleges, universities, high schools, middle schools, and independent drum corps.
As the lady's son said it in the mom confessions, dance the whole time? What's the point of that? Okay. She has early color guard practice. Surprise her by not only being awake, but dressed. That's a typo. Wow. But also super cheerful, blah, 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 blah. She's more surprised when she learns I haven't even had coffee yet, blah, blah, blah. We pull out of the garage at 6:30 in the morning. Why do the brand directors hate parents? You know, it kind of seems a little boring. This person's life is, kind of boring. Golf tournament. Missing in action. McKinney's finest tea. Let's just read the fine print. That's one of our favorite parts. A lot of the time we would skip to this section that's always on the right page. It's called the fine print. And it's a blue and it says a list of things that the person who wrote the article likes. What's in her Netflix queue? The Crown. Season 3. Favorite movie? Top Gun. Best purchase ever? My dog, Moose. Purchase. Are we going to complain about people who buy dogs versus adopt dogs?
To adopt a dog, you have to pay for it, Corban.
Yes, but it says she bought it.
Yeah.
I'm playing the dumb person right now.
Either way, you buy it.
You know what? This person's life is very boring. I'm sorry.
Corban, this podcast is boring.
I'm sorry,
I'm
Linda
about
Black.
to leave. Let's go.
Okay,
Hurry up.
well, let me just read what I wrote down in my script 3 months ago when I scripted this episode. So, this was the idea I had come up with. What if there was a restaurant that only served Bible-themed dishes?
Bible-themed?
Yeah. Dishes that are inspired by Bible stories, if that makes sense. Okay. So, like, oh, you want the family platter? Sure, let us give you the loaves and fishes platter.
Maybe.
Or the Noah's Ark platter. You kind of get one of everything. Not for vegetarians. You can have the Jonah, which is just salad.
Why is it just salad?
Because the caterpillar that ate the thing over him. Okay, speaking of which, you remember that Mexican show that we used to watch? It was like called Carlos the Caterpillar.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
It was so weird. Okay, keep talking while I try to find the theme song. What were your memories of Carlos the Caterpillar?
Okay, all I remember is this little yellow caterpillar and this, like, slug that was, like, the bully.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like Carlos had a friend that was, like, an ant or something.
I found it.
And... Hold on.
We live in a little place.
Yeah, I remember
off
that
the
voice.
coast of
That voice.
Africa, in the Canary Islands.
Oh, that one
Paradise
hurts to
made
listen
up
to
of
that.
7 grouped isles with lush vegetation,
Oh.
bright colors, and awesome mountains.
Welcome, Fry.
And the place that I was born in is a called Morgan.
Yes, I remember that guy.
Come a while and bring a smile to my Isle Morgan. Es muy divertido. Come with us, amigos, share our fun. And we like to
That guy's the. Oh yeah, Carlos loves soccer.
We all like to go romancing, dancing in our customary way. Begin Morgan is so much fun. Every day's a holiday. Differences don't make a difference here. Whether you leap, creep, or run. Hey, no, we're insects anyway. Together we have fun.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough of this. It just repeats. Okay, this was the theme song to a show called Carlos the Caterpillar.
Yeah. I don't remember what they taught. I just remember the characters.
That's just one of the weird shows that we used to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me while I clear the peaking signal thingy. Okay, so what are your ideas for dishes at a restaurant that would only serve like Bible-themed stuff? You could go for breakfast and get the Garden of Eden platter, which is just a bunch of fruit.
Let me see.
You're going to pull up the Bible?
No. Yeah, I'm actually going to pull up here. I'm going to pull up all the Bible stories. Let's see here.
All of them? Well, okay. Guys, look
they're
at
right
your
here.
podcast player. This is now a 24-hour
Let's see.
podcast.
If we did...
Okay, well, while you're trying to pull something up here, I got a little joke about a grape. It
Grape.
says, what did the green grape say to the purple grape? Breathe! Breathe!
Breathe.
Get it?
Breathe.
Breathe!
Oh, 'cause it's
The
purple. Yeah.
Okay. I've been sitting on
Well,
that
I'd
one.
say vomit already.
You know, I was reading about that. So, someone once told me that the entrance to an auditorium, right, is called a vomitorium.
Yes, I've heard that.
The deal is, I Googled it, and apparently vomitoriums are places that Romans would go. They would eat their meals, and then they would go throw it up in a vomitorium, and then come back and, eat lunch.
Okay.
Right. Hey, Google,
Okay.
what is a vomitorium?
Here's a summary from Wikipedia. A vomitorium is a passage situated below or behind a tier of seats in an amphitheater or a stadium through which big crowds can exit rapidly at the end of a
We know that.
performance.
Hey.
They can also be pathways for actors to enter and leave stage.
What's the second definition?
Here's the definition of second. Constituting
no.
number
Hey,
2 in
Google,
a
stop.
sequence.
No, wait. Okay, so I have my my idea for Bible story food.
Okay.
Okay, so it's called the empty tomb. All right, and so they uncover the platter.
It's
and
for
there's
the
nothing in it.
gluten-free, yeah. It's for
It's just nothing. It's just a plate, and they charge you $20 for it.
Yeah. Do you have any healthy options?
Yes, the empty.
Oh,
tomb.
yes, we do. Yes. Are there just some like linens under it? It's just like your
No, there's
table.
nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, you could do the net, which is like the net that came down, right, for Paul. It's basically a Thanksgiving dinner, with all the unclean food that was clean.
Oh yeah.
You could do that. Anyhow, so here's a little exercise I want us to do right now. I want you to get on Google on your phone right now, and I want you to Google a company. Just
type a company.
a company and see what the first company that shows up is.
Penny.
What's the first business that gets advertised to you?
Dictionary.
Dictionary?
No, it's the word says dictionary. Company, noun, a commercial business. Okay. Company definition. Nope. A company. Oh, look, there's a company called a company.
And what do they do? Because what we're about to do is make an advertisement for them. We're going to promote a company on this podcast.
It just says Southpaw Trading Company.
So what do they do? What does that mean?
I have no clue.
Well, let's advertise.
Hold on.
Hello, listeners. A company is your one-stop shop for company items. If you need anything relating to company, A company's got you.
Oh, it's a
If you need a friend, they're always there for
It's a
you.
decorating company. They decorate rooms in your house.
A Company is here to help you make your dreams of living in your childhood bedroom come true. Always wanted that teal paint color on your walls like you did when you were 12? You can live out your cringe now. So Sofia left and traveled the world, went to the restroom, got some authentic taquitos, and flew on back, and it's 16 years later, and we're finally reconnecting. Mm-hmm. That's a very weird way to be talking into your microphone.
Well, it works though, right?
Anyway, so apparently I didn't have any good ideas, and this advertisement idea didn't work through, and we're just going to skip word of the week because I got rid of that because I didn't like it. So I have a fun fact for you, and then we're going to move on to the actual topic time, which is a part 2 of one of my favorite things. So here's something cool. All chips / crisps, as they say in the UK, go out of date on a Saturday. Have you ever realized that?
Really?
I've been sitting on this fact for 4 months since our last episode of the podcast.
Have you been checking chips?
I have been checking chips. I go to vending machines and I just look in and I'm like, look at the date. February 15th. Blah, blah, blah. That's a Saturday. And I'm like, all chips expire on a Saturday. It's weird. Anyhow. And it's mostly, it's all bags. It's like the big Dorito family size bags, the little personal size bags in a vending machine. Anyway, that's just what I thought I would say. So let's move on. We're going to have more of my movie ideas. We're not going to talk about the live action Cats movie. No, that's what Sophia's laughing about here. So I came up with an idea. You know, recently a lot of my ideas for movies have been about trains. Because I'm planning to take a cross-country train trip, but that's besides the point, and I'll probably record something there. So here's the idea. You know, one thing Sofia and I have always said is that if worse comes to worse with us and we need to make a quick buck here, what are we going to do? We're going to make a Hallmark movie because literally any script sells to Hallmark. So here's the idea. It would be a Hallmark movie called Love on the Transcontinental Express.
Okay, we're going to revise that, but okay.
Yeah, it'd probably be... Hallmark movies are always 2 words.
It would just be Love on the Train. That's what it would be.
Love Express. Express Love.
Oh, it would have to be Love on the Train.
Choo Choo Love.
No, it would be Love on the Train.
Okay. There was a... Okay, anyway, here's the synopsis. I forgot I wrote it like this. 2 high-level executives from Las Francisco need to get home.
I came up with that. Las Francisco.
In upstate Newark for Christmas. But due to global warming, everyone has been snowed in, and all flights have been canceled. There's only one way there, the train. After being seated together for breakfast, sparks fly and love is afoot. Arriving at home helps them regain perspective on what's really important in life. Marrying a rando you met on the train just a few days ago. A Hallmark Channel original by Corban Garcia.
And me.
And Sofia. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's one idea.
Good.
Is another one. I don't know if I talked about this one yet. It's called Beyond Vision, and the title makes no sense. A middle-aged British couple living in the United States falls deep in debt after many unfortunate circumstances. And with their house about to get foreclosed, they have 2 weeks to come up with the money needed. That's when friends of theirs who used to also be in like this super dire financial circumstances pop back into their lives after being gone for a year. But now they're rich. Mm-hmm. These friends offer them a job, a crazy job. One to become murderers / hitmen. Because no one would suspect middle-aged British couples, they're told. Their cover would be to pretend that they are British tourists in America traveling around. And then that's their job now. Be a very weird job, but the starring, it would be Catherine Tate as the wife and Bradley Walsh as the husband. The guy who plays Graham on Doctor Who.
I can't see him with her now.
And then it could... Oh, I'm not going to say that.
No, you know what it would be?
Huh.
It would be, you know that guy who played the energetic guy? What's his name? Chris on Parks and Rec or whatever?
Oh, Rob Lowe.
That guy with Catherine Tate as murderers.
No, that'd be so weird. But he's not British.
Murderers.
He's not British.
He can fake it enough. He looks British.
Here's my Arthur episode idea I wrote. A-plot. After Buster perfectly predicts who would win 2 Greebs games, thanks to a mysterious cap he finds, he now thinks that he can predict the future outcomes of future events with his lucky baseball cap. He eventually gets misproven thanks to Brain, who tells him that all he's doing is analyzing the facts / context as clues. But the B plot to that is that Muffy comes back to Elwood City from a vacation to Italy, and she starts a business selling cannolis at Greeb's games, but always over / underestimates how many cannolis to have her chefs make. So Buster attempts to help her predict how many supplies she needs, but realizes that to predict correctly, all she needs to do is analyze the clues. So it'd be one of the newer episodes about using process of elimination in your mind to figure stuff out. Anyway,
That sounds more like an Odd Squad thing.
maybe. Yeah. Okay, what other ideas did I have here? Stranger from a train is another train idea. Random stranger making a cross-country journey by train gets off in the middle of nowhere town in the middle of America, just in the middle of the night. A lot of middles there. He decides to spend 2 weeks there because the next train won't come for a while. He rents an apartment, gets a job, and basically builds an entire new life there, starting from scratch. And 2 weeks later, again, in the middle of the night, he just disappears without ever saying goodbye to anyone and leaving behind everything he collected in the new life he started. But the movie would just... I don't know. I heard a podcast today, and they're like, when you watch movies about characters in New York, and then you realize at the end of the movie that New York was the character, and the human wasn't the character.
What?
Yeah, I'm thinking, what if you put that spin on that idea and said,
Texas was the character.
yeah, it was always Texas. Okay. Another one I wrote the other day, a TV show that follows the life of someone trying to make a show for a community access TV channel. Because Dallas is bringing back community access TV, which is basically a cable channel in your area that only people who live in your city can watch. So you make very local TV shows. So you would probably do like a Dallas entrepreneur show is what you would put on that kind of show. Because people from other cities wouldn't care the slightest bit. But people living here would care. Okay, I'm pretty sure I had one more idea
Somebody
in here.
tell me, okay, why... I'm like falling asleep. Okay, now why are all dog movies like where the thing is about a dog, not about a dog finding a human or whatever? No, just the dog.
Dog.
Why is every dog movie that's just about one dog, not a dog and his buddies, just one dog?
Mm-hmm.
Why is like the narrator / main person character Texan with a southern accent with a cowboy hat and boots? Why?
Stereotyping?
Exactly.
I mean, I watched that movie.
Because all the other dog movies where it's about dogs, as plural, dog and his buddies, all of those, the main people are white people.
Well, I watched that,
But
what do you call it?
when it's just one dog, it's always the Texan old guy.
What's the name of that movie I just saw? The dog movie? With Harrison Ford?
I don't know.
A Dog's Way Home. Oh, The Call of the Wild. That's what it was. It was about Canadians. Anyway, here's the last
Canadians
idea.
don't have dogs.
They have doggies.
No, they have their syrup, and that's it.
Yeah, and they're hockey. Speaking
Yeah.
of Canadians, you want to just talk about corner gas?
I don't really remember it. You'd have to remind me.
We need to go back and rewatch it. Corner gas, I guess we'll just knock
I
that
don't
out of
watch
the way.
anything twice.
Our recommendations of the week, corner gas. We got it.
No, my recommendation is The Mentalist.
Well, if we had recorded this back when we were watching Corner Gas, you would have recommended Corner Gas.
Well, yeah, because I only watch one TV show at a time.
Wow, that's capital C crazy.
Okay.
Sorry, I just read that off my notes. So the last TV show I had
Okay.
idea for was the comical lives of the only 3 kids who live in a retirement town, meaning they're the only people there under the age of 50. Their school, quote unquote, is just Miss Herringer, a retired teacher who still believes in physical punishment. They're fun, 2 words, bingo night. Things get capital C crazy. And crime, well, the only occasional missing dentures. Mm-hmm. And my note at the bottom of the description was the show would bring jobs to out-of-work actors, who are older and who would like to be back on the big screen. Or older actors who haven't had a job
It's going
in
to
a
be
while.
funny, though, because all of them are going to look old because of all their facelifts and everything. None of them are gonna look old. That's all I'm saying. You'd have to get like old people who actually look old.
Old man Steve from TikTok.
Who's that?
We're gonna be making a grilled cheese today with pimento
the guy who always
cheese.
cuts out the flipping and the cutting.
He cuts out every time. So this is man. He calls himself Old Man Steve. He lives here in Fort Worth. He has a TikTok with like 4 million followers, and all he does is just make. He cooks, but he's not really cooking. It's always like store bought. So he's like, I'm gonna make a grilled cheese, and then he says, then you just put it in the pan and you flip it, and then he cuts to it already being flipped.
He goes, it's already been flipped.
Yeah, he does
I've
every
only watched
time.
2 of them, and all I got from it was that he always cuts out the cutting. If he's cutting like a tomato
With a knife or
or
something.
a sandwich or something, he always cuts it out.
And he always
And
cuts
he's
out
just
him
like,
flipping
it's been
it.
cut.
Yeah, which makes you think, was he using the phone to cut the sandwich?
What?
I don't know. My brain is messed up.
I'm like fighting falling asleep right now.
Me
I don't know
too.
why.
Me too. I don't know
why.
why. It's been, I feel like we just recorded a podcast yesterday, but that's because we recorded a 2-hour consultation of someone's movie script.
It wasn't yesterday. It was like a
It
month
feels
ago.
like yesterday. I don't know. I feel so tired now. Okay, anyway.
I am tired though.
I guess the last
It's
thing.
like 3 p.m. We gotta hurry up.
I guess the last. I mean, that's really.
We have a funeral tomorrow.
Yeah, we're so old. Literally, that's how we're marking our days, Sophia. Well, I can't wait for old man Steve's funeral tomorrow.
Well, yeah,
can you?
yeah.
3 p.m. It's time to go to sleep now. I'm so tired.
No, yeah. We have a funeral tomorrow. We also have. Do you realize that I have to sit at a camera for 14 hours? Do you realize that? Because we're there from 9 a.m. till 11 p.m. or 10 p.m.
And
but we
you're
get home at
you're
11.
on a follow spot on a follow cam on the tight cam. So
Exactly.
okay. Well, I had written down originally for this discussion on this episode to be what our
Okay, wait.
favorite.
I have a question. Okay, so these people here who listen to this, apparently a lot of people from church listen to this, and I did not realize that because they walk up to me and they're like, are you going to record another podcast, or can I be on the next one? Or do you remember the time you talked about it? Okay, first of all, I don't remember recording any podcasts, okay? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, I know, obviously, because we have 60-something or whatever it
Almost
is.
70 episodes.
Yeah, obviously, I know we've recorded something, but I don't remember recording them, except for the very first one.
Yeah, I remember the first one. The first 5 are ingrained in my mind.
I don't know those.
But
Anyway.
really, okay, in the 20s and 30s is where I've lost it. 20, 30, 40, I don't know any of those. I listened back, I'm like, who is that person?
No,
Who
when you
stole
when
my
you
voice?
when you played me one time or whatever, when you used to listen back to them after we released it or
Yeah.
whatever. No, I'd be sitting there like I'd never heard it before in my life, and I'd be laughing along with the jokes and everything
Yeah,
because
okay.
I don't remember saying any of
Yeah,
that.
episode 62 is an absolute baller. That is
Which
peak
one is that?
comedy. It is where I read through my General Grocer's script.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well look, we used to do this. I used to go back and look back at what episodes we recorded on this day, a couple years ago.
Wait,
So
wait. Do this day 2 years ago.
Well, in this day 2017, we recorded episode 25 called That's All the Fine Print. And the description is, Sofia has a mind-reading trick for you as Corban finds out if police cars have horns. They both talk about weird things they know how to do and find out what fress means. All this and more in this episode of Rocket Anywhere. Let's see how it started.
You just gotta say whatever's on your mind.
I have nothing on my mind.
Nothing is
I don't have
something,
anything on
as
my mind
Christopher
either.
Robin once said.
Yeah, well, no.
Is this in like 3 times speed?
Yeah, sorry, the speed is on.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I don't talk that fast.
We sound very out of it when we listen.
I'm too tired. for
Yeah.
that. I can't do that. Skip through to like
Greetings.
what?
Rocket to Anywhere says greetings, and so do I. My name's Sofia Garcia,
Corban.
and Corban Garcia. And I'm very tired because I woke up at 5:30 in the morning.
Look, I'm tired too.
You know, I'm always tired. It's just become a redundant
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But I'm not tired today.
I'm tired.
I went to sleep early.
Early and woke up early, so
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Well, let's get started with follow-up as we always do. Last week we didn't properly explain that Sofia knocked out a single, 1 foot by 1 foot square. The way we said it made it sound like she knocked out a whole 4-foot window.
What are we talking about?
No.
Oh, the window.
This was the episode after you broke a window because you knocked so hard.
Okay. In
She's like,
Okay, stop. Okay, I knocked with one knuckle. The knuckle of my index
The
finger.
knuckle of the Hulk.
No, I knocked with the knuckle of my index finger because I was told those windows are very fragile.
Single pane
so
windows.
I knocked with one knuckle. Okay, knock, and shatters. And I'm like, okay then.
Sophia, it's gotten to the point. I feel, you know what? This feels like John Roderick and Merlin, where I've listened to 350 episodes of their show, and it's just cyclical. He's like every.
Because you bring up the same thing, and I'm trying to defend myself
and they come up at the same time of every year. This time last year, they were doing their Aloha conversation. Today, they talked about Aloha again.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're talking about how we need to be more chill and have like an Aloha vibe. And be like, just let it pass through you. Let it go over you. Ocean aura. Morning mist.
I was mad that
Upside down
Hava
pineapple.
didn't get to deliver that line correctly. I was so mad.
Yeah, on the show that we wrote, our lines were messed up. Speaking of letting aloha, I guess I'll bring out.
I gave her that line on purpose, okay? Because I knew she was the only one who could deliver it, and nobody gave her time to do it.
Okay, well,
Still mad.
there's a little library box. In the rich neighborhood across the street from the golf course, and they have this little it started off as a birdhouse, very large birdhouse. Then the birds didn't live there, so the owner who made it started putting books in there, and they called it a free little library. And then somebody the other day came and raided it and took all the books and stole them all. So my plan is to go in and donate all my books that I don't read anymore. But one of them,
But your books are not for children. That's how I meant to say that.
Tell me how Texas Almanac 2006 to 2007 is not for children.
What I meant was your books. Children cannot understand
The
or
Shakespeare
read.
Stealer. He was set to steal a play from Shakespeare himself.
Exactly. Kids can't
That's
understand
the
that.
subtitle of this book. What a book. Anyway, but speaking about
If
changes.
you want to know a child's opinion about something, ask me because I have.
I am
their
a
opinion.
child.
No, I'm not a child. I just.
That's your
have
business
their
card. If you want to know a child's
I just have
opinion,
their opinion.
I am a child.
I just have their opinion and
Okay.
attention span. Maybe a little less.
Well, there's a book called Who Moved My Cheese. I feel
Grant,
I
okay,
just
we're not
felt
reading this
I
again.
just felt in my
You've read this on the podcast before. We're not
I
reading
just
it
felt a sense that 4 million people
million people?
just winced and
Just
touched
winced?
their phone.
What's winced?
They went.
Okay, then. All right.
Anyhow, it's
Best
a book.
be glad you only have audio.
It's a book
viewers.
about dealing with change. So what I'm gonna do? It's
So why
about
would they grab their phone?
because they don't want to hear about this book anymore. Let's just open up.
Well, how are they hearing
Here
from
we
their
go.
phone?
We're gonna open to a random page, and we're gonna click to one point, and we're gonna see what the point.
Oh, they're listening on their phone.
Here's the point of page 68. Noticing small changes early helps you adapt to the bigger changes that are to come. Let's read the page it's associated with. By now, Haw had to let go of the past and was adapting to the present. He continued on through the maze with greater strength and speed, and before long it happened. When it seemed like he had been in the maze forever, his journey, or at least this part of his journey, ended quickly and happily. Haw proceeded along a corridor that was new to him, around a corner and found new cheese at Cheese Station N. When he was inside, he was startled by what he saw. Piled high everywhere was the greatest supply of cheese he had ever seen. He didn't recognize all that he saw, as some kinds of cheese were new to him.
I want Colby Jack cubes. I'm serious.
I can
want
imagine
them.
someone
Can we buy
returning
it,
this book
please?
to the store and saying, there was nothing really about... This wasn't about cheese. What's the deal?
Yeah, it is. He just read a whole story about cheese.
The point of this book is about who moved my cheese, who messed with my life. That's the point of this book. It's about how to... An amazing way to deal with change in your work and in your life. By Spencer Johnson, MD.
Why is it amazing?
Because the book is about 2 rats in a maze looking for cheese.
Rats? Why do they have to be rats?
I guess the rats are supposed to be us
Should be
humans, and the
mites.
cheese is like the meaning of life.
I said mites.
Looking for mice.
Mites. Yes, mites.
Okay, let's open a random page of the Shakespeare.
Wait, no,
book.
I want to hear. I don't even know what this is supposed to be.
She's pulling out a Texas Almanac from 2006.
So did you get it in 2006?
No, I pulled it off a free rack at the library. They were throwing it out.
Okay. Texas school personal and salaries. Year/personnel type. Personnel. Is it personnel? Personnel full-time equivalent. So, I actually don't know how to read that. So no. Permanent school fund. Year 1850. They had school in 1854.
What did you think they did before then?
Weren't all those children homeschooled until there was public school existed?
No, you just worked on the farm. Okay.
Wait, what? Okay,
You know what?
so it
Hold on,
says
hold
total investment fund. Is that
What you're
2
reading is
million?
very boring
Is
to
that
people
2 million?
listening. I have something that's exciting.
2 million.
You ready to see what I'm about to pull out here?
What?
You ready to see?
Wait a second. Hold on. They spend $19 billion on school in the U.S. And it's not in the U.S. in just Texas.
And that's just for 2006.
No, that's for 2004.
Now we spend
And
$4
No, but
based on these
who-
school lunches nowadays.
Okay, that's $19 million.
Sorry if you hear all that lawnmower outside. I guess the neighbor
Excuse
is
me,
doing
that's
something.
him on his motorcycle doing wheelies. That is not no motorcycle. I mean, motor grass.
Motor grass. I love my motor grass.
Mowing grass. Mowing grass. What is it called?
It's called giving the grass a haircut.
No, what is it called?
Mowing the lawn.
A lawnmower. There we go. I got it.
Grass mower. Okay.
What do you think? Okay.
Well, here's something that's going to bring you
look
back
at
a
that, Texas.
wave of nostalgia. You ready to see this? Look.
Faces.
Do you remember
wait.
this?
I mean, I remember. I
You
don't remember.
remember
Oh,
this?
yes, I remember it now.
Okay, I'm going to read you. This was one of our favorite books of all time, and it was
No,
in
mine
German.
was Moke and Poki.
It was in German.
That was in
Andrea Chlacht und Chlacht.
Oh, I remember.
Pablo hat sin geschreit Belmat.
Okay, can you just read in English, please?
Peter's face is very flushed.
Yes. Okay.
Why is Andrea angry?
Wait, why is he flushed?
He's kind of sick.
Oh, okay.
Pablo Oh, sorry. That's German. Pablo is making a funny face. And Andrea is crying. Gabby has washed her face. But Peter's face is very dirty.
What?
Andrea has made a wonderful mask. Wunderbar. Huh? Pablo is very surprised. The end.
Wait, I'm
That's the
sorry.
entire
Who's
book.
he? Because I remember there being a story.
I remember this specifically being a point to the book.
No, I remember there being a story. Andrea cannot stop laughing. Pablo has painted his face. Okay. Peter's face is very flushed. Why is Andrea angry? Are these the same kid? Is it? I'm
wow,
sorry.
Andrea must have bipolar.
I'm sorry, but this kid's Chinese, and this kid's African American, but they're both Andrea.
Well, you can have two people with the same name. It's like you
But
say.
why are they trying to confuse me? This is Pablo, okay? There's Asian.
Look at the
Andrea.
back. Look at the back. There's a picture on the back of all the characters.
This is Gabby. So why is her name Andrea?
Typo in a 20-year-old
Gabby
book.
has washed her face.
Okay, well, look. You said your favorite book
But
was Moke and
Peter's
Poki.
face is still dirty.
You said your favorite book was Moke and Poki. The problem is that
Andrea
Moke and
has
Poki
a wonderful-
now retails for $200 on Amazon.
Yes, I know.
And looky here what I have in my
You
hands.
found
I have an
it!
original 1971
Pablo's
edition
very
of
surprised.
Moke and Poki in the Rainforest by Mamoru Fanini.
Sorry, I'm still getting over this here.
The people and animals in this
Where's the
book live
story?
in the state of Hawaii. Some
Okay,
of the
buddy,
words in this
I'm
book are
sorry.
Hawaiian words.
Honey,
Here
no.
is how to say them.
Corban.
Moke, a name.
Corban.
Poki, another name.
Corban.
What?
You already messed up this book. So, give me that one. Here, let me see
Mahunis.
it. I'm gonna read.
Little
Let
people.
me see.
Okay, Sophia's going to read now because I can't
Is this
read
the
books.
first page?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a glossary
Moke
of how to say
and Poki
words.
build a house. Wait. Menahunis.
Manahoni.
Little people. Wait, but it actually says, it's right there. Me. You emphasize the who.
Before anyone listening tries to skip, y'all better appreciate the how big this is because otherwise you'd have to pay $200 to read this book, and
In
we're reading it
Hawaii.
to you for free.
Yes. Oh, look, they have one for a goose. Oh,
What is
this
it
takes
called?
place in Hawaii?
Yes.
That says, and I can read a book. No.
Wait, who tried to tell me about an episode of The Twilight Zone with little people?
I don't know.
Okay, they told me
I
there
watched
was.
The Twilight Zone for like one season, and it was so boring.
Okay. So someone told me that there was an episode of The
There
Twilight
wasn't enough
Zone
death.
where
They
there
ripped
you
you
saw
off.
what?
They rip you off.
Who
They don't
ripped
even
you
kill
off?
anybody. They just like do jump scares, and then they just leave the person alive.
They jump scare you, and you go ah
Exactly. Yeah.
oh, and I go ah.
Wait, I'm sorry. What are these again? Oh, little people. The little people lived in the rainforest. Moke was a little person. He was 6 inches tall. Let's see, that much. Okay.
Yes, all the people watching at home can see that.
Yes, you listen to my voice inflection and figure out how tall that is.
By how many syllables?
Because Corban is this tall, and these little people are this tall. Okay.
This tall.
He lived in a bush.
In a bush.
Oh, this is great. Okay. Here we go. Page 2. In this picture. Okay. He's on blue leaves. And he's just standing there. Wait. Are those the same person? Are they twins? Oh, they're twins. Okay.
You never realized.
So, yeah, okay. One day, Moke told his friend Poki, I am tired of living in a bush. You are silly, said Poki.
Let us live in a shrub.
But I want to live in a real house, said Poki. Moke.
Loki.
Moke said that. Yes, okay. Where can you find a real house in the rainforest? Asked Poki. Come, we will look for a house, said Moke. Oh, look, the mushrooms. I remember this. Wait, okay, we're going to skip to...
Skip to the story about the puddle, because that's the biggest one that I always remember.
What do you mean the puddle?
They were in
It's
a
all one
puddle,
story,
and they thought it was a
Corban.
lake. No, there's 4 chapters, and it follows them for 4 different stages in their life, and there's one where they're in a...
Oh, I remember! This one, the one with the bees.
Yes, that's the one I'm
bees.
talking about.
Yes, okay, here. Wait,
She's looking at a picture of Moke and Poki, 2 tiny little people. And when they say little people, we're talking about like 4, 5, 6 inches tall people who live in this rainforest.
Excuse me, it said 6 inches tall.
6 inches, okay?
Okay.
And they're on a
Hold up, wait.
green bean.
If they're 6 inches tall, then how big is that tomato? That tomato's like as
Boy,
big as my
Poki is
head.
a lot bigger than I remember.
Yes, he is. Actually, no. Poki is not.
I'd love
Poki
to see a live action remake of this.
Is Poki? Poki's not.
He's pokeable.
Okay, here's the thing. It says Moke and Poki, but it only shows their face in the index thing. But they're wearing different clothes, so how do you know which one's Moke and which one's Poki if they only show the face?
Say that the one on the left is Moke. It's like Rhett and Link, Moke and Poki.
Oh, yeah. So Poki. So Poki's the one with the white
sorry.
shirt. He's chubby. The white shirt, chubby guy is Poki. Okay.
It just seems
The
fitting.
bean pod canoe. Moke and Poki walk through the vegetable garden. Since when are they in a garden now? Okay. The vegetable garden. Look at those plants, said Moke. They are so big. Actually, you're tiny.
Hermie shows up.
And just look at those cucumbers. Where are the cucumbers? There's only tomatoes. Okay, and Poki. These are tomatoes as big as a house.
Well, wait a minute, because Moke and Poki realized that the thing they thought was the ocean was really just a puddle of water.
Mm-hmm.
So if they think they live in the rainforest, maybe they just live in somebody's garden.
Yeah. Look at the beans. They're as big as a canoe. The beans. No, the bean pod. Get your things right. Okay. A canoe, said Moki. You know, a canoe that can sail in the water, said Poki. I know what a canoe is, said Moki. Ah, yes.
Ah, yes. Classic Moki. Ah, yes.
Okay, so pretty much they cleaned and opened the bean, and they started to get in, and Moki drifted off in the puddle while Poki was trying to pick the, like, paddles, which were leaves, okay? And so now he finally
Leaves,
catches up,
nature's
and
napkins.
they're going swoosh, swoosh, swoosh across the little, well, what they thought was the ocean. They were sailing out to sea, and then dark clouds began to cover the twinkling stars, okay? And the bean pod canoe got tossed up and down, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wow, those are big waves. Now they're in a whirlpool, and Moki is putting water into the canoe, and Poki's taking it out. Okay. Okay, so now they just gave up, and they're just sitting there staring at me. And now, oh, somebody's holding their breath, and another guy's holding his ears.
Maybe that's where I got my thing from.
And then they realize they're in a puddle, and they realize that they can just stand up in the puddle. So they stand up and walk back to
I
shore.
remember I once did that at a pool. I was like, I'm going to drown. It's 1 foot tall.
Yeah, they just walk back to shore. And that is the one about the bean pod. I remember it being a lot more exciting.
You know, this podcast is really just us following our lives as we realize that things that we used to like are not really as exciting.
See, I remember the goose, but I don't remember the dog or the mouse. Also, what's on his head? Does he have like a... Oh, it's a frog. Okay. Whoa, buddy. Scared me for a second there.
Oh no. It's just Hawaii. The essential Hawaii.
So they have orange and aqua rainbows. It's a nice place to
You know,
go.
it kind of looks like the candies.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Anyhow.
Oh look, it says Moki. This is how the whole book ends. Moki and his friends were so happy. They clapped their hands and then they sang a song. Rainbows, rainbows in the skies, pretty colors. Why do I remember this? When it rains, it can't
pours.
play. What? Oh, when it rains, we can't play. We watch rainbows all day. Cool.
Well,
look, and the frog's drinking the water. That's cool.
I'm a big fan of frogs now, for your information.
Oh, look, wait, did they make books?
What are you holding right now?
No, I meant like, wait, are these? Wait, is the same person who wrote this the same person who writes these?
No, that's Frog and Toad. That's something else. Okay.
Well, look up this person.
Who?
Mamora.
Memoru. How do you spell that?
Mam. Oru. With one A.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
Ma'am.
Or.
R-U, okay. And then Funny.
How do you spell that?
F-U-N-A-I. Funny.
Mamoru Fune.
Okay, did the person make any other books?
He has written Moki and Poki in the Rainforest, several tricks of Edgar Dolphin, and a bunch of other books, but nothing else about Moki and Poki. Only ever wrote one Moki and Poki book. Yeah, look at that. Only one.
Wow.
Well, speaking of falling back in time, let's look at what we were doing 2 years ago. 2 years ago was episode 46.
You know, I was on Instagram the other day, and I saw someone post a picture of themselves at a roller skating rink, and I just started thinking about it, like, when have we just ever gone roller skating for, like, no reason? Just to go roller skating?
Never.
Never.
Yeah, the only time we've ever really, like, gone roller skating is for, like, parties we've been invited to.
Mm-hmm.
And last week I was talking about 90s fashion coming back. This week I'm talking about 90s activities coming back.
You're still talking about that.
No, I was wrong.
Just drop it. No.
Yeah, it's more 80s.
No. Never mind.
Wait, skip to like the end of it.
Okay, to the end.
I want to hear.
Okay, well, this episode was 46. Helen Keller wasn't a fairy tale. And we review...
Ellen Keller.
we review Wonderstruck. This is the end of the...
That was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
No.
No way.
Well, he didn't notice it because it was so good visual effects.
I fell asleep.
Yeah. So, that's all for this week. What's your recommendation of the week? Do you recommend people go watch Wonderstruck?
If you want, I'll just tell you there's better movies.
Wait, what movie?
I'd say read the book.
What did
and
you
then watch
recommend?
the movie.
I just recommend to read Wonderstruck and watch the movie.
Okay, wait. Was Wonderstruck the one that was in black and white, or the one about
Yeah,
the
it
blind
was the one that
kid?
was in. Oh, I'm getting a FaceTime. Hold on, let's answer this FaceTime on video.
On video.
Hello? Hi. Okay, well, let's also skip to what we were doing this time last year. Just one more check. Where is our podcast? What do we call? What's the name of this here show? Okay. Doop 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 doop. This time last year we were doing our review of saddest movies we've ever seen.
So many years ago at Thanksgiving, Sophia and I went to our aunt's house down south, and I remember on the way they are pulling into the neighborhood after our 6-hour drive. Our mom was there telling us, she's like, okay, so your aunt has a dog, and Sophia gets all excited like, oh, she has a dog, and she's like, well, listen, hold on, Sophia, the dog isn't alive. And I'm like, so the dog died? And she's like, no. So she has a dog, but it's not actually a real dog. It's a dog that's like, it breathes and it sits in like a bed, but it's not actually a real dog. So I said, it's like a breathing stuffed animal? And she said, yeah. So I thought about this story the other day, and then I decided to Google it, and apparently it's a real thing. You can buy these dummy breathing puppies, which they call emulation sleeping dogs, for like $20 on Amazon. And they're dogs that look real, but they just sit in a bed and breathe.
Oh, did you just see what happened to me?
No, I did not see what happened to you.
I closed my eyes and I feel like I just flipped over.
That's what happens when you're asleep. You wake up and you just flail.
No, I closed my eyes and I felt like
Okay,
I
that
was in a
story
car
was
flipping over.
remember there was she had a dog but it just slept and it didn't do anything. It was a robot.
Look, that was a dream, Gordon. I don't
That was
remember
real.
Which aunt is this?
Okay.
What aunt is this? There's 3 that are south. She's never had a dog.
She has one now. It's real.
Well,
but before
yeah,
she had a fake
she's never had
breathing
a
one that just
dog.
sat in a corner and it was a robot.
She's never had a dog.
You just took its limp, lifeless body and put it on your lap and let it breathe.
Gordon, how old was I?
You were like 4.
Gordon, I would remember that. Okay, this is not.
Okay.
Look, I only remember going to this house one time, and that was when I was there and he had ants in his room. Do you remember that? Ants on the floor of the tiles, in between the tiles and everything?
I think it's still like that.
No, but that was the old house, and I remember that. That was the only time
That's
I ever
still
went to
the
her
house. I was there last year.
She still lives in
She
that house?
still lives there.
Are you serious?
There's still ants on the
No,
floor.
she doesn't. That's so
And they're on the
sad.
table.
That's so sad.
And the plastic is still on the chairs.
That's so sad.
She's moving now, though. She got
Good.
married.
Please, thank you.
Okay.
If you don't do anything else, just move her. Just
Okay. What is a good podcast if the hosts don't cough?
What now?
A good podcast doesn't exist unless the hosts are coughing.
No. I couldn't get any words
We've
out.
officially been in this room for 2 hours, most of which will probably be cut, and was just me sitting here.
My neck hurts so bad.
My back hurts so bad. It's about to. I mean,
Honey, you don't know what back hurting means when you have to just deal with it.
deal
Okay.
with it.
You can sit all day and then crack your back on the dart rail thing. Okay?
Okay, well,
Me, I can't.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, look, here's something.
Un día miré a un niño llorando y le pregunté que qué le pasaba. Me dijo que una víbora venenosa lo había mordido y le puse Vicks y se murió.
Little Spanish humor for you right there. Okay, well, I forgot how I closed the show. I think I'm supposed to say something like send us stuff. Send us stuff to talk about.
Just unsubscribe and go do something better with your life.
Go subscribe to Roderick on the Line. That'll
No, don't listen to podcasts and don't watch YouTube. Watch
because it's all
watch
meaningless.
one TV
Watch a TV. It's not on.
one TV show at a time.
What does TV stand for?
Who cares? Just watch one TV show
Tommy-
at a time.
Tommy
Isn't it television?
Tommy vitamins.
And yeah, no YouTube, no YouTube Kids, no.
You know what I saw yesterday
TV,
on the
no
train?
Apple TV, no none of that, no Disney Plus.
You know what surprises me is how many people watch Rhett and Link.
Who's that? Oh, Rhett and Link.
I was on the train. 4 people around me were all watching either Good Mythical Morning, Ear Biscuits, or old episodes of
terrible,
El
disgusting,
All of
waste
them.
of time.
And I was like, I'm so happy I'm around a bunch of mythical beasts here that are all here to support me if I get mugged.
Nope.
It'd be sad if the last words I yelled were, Red Link, no. And then I get mugged. Okay, well, I have to go find a Joby Gorilla Pod before the funeral tomorrow, so I think that's really all. Let's just go take a nap. Goodbye.
Oh yeah. I don't know why I want to say this, but don't shop at Sam's. Shop at Costco.
Yeah. It's the ghetto.
Person
Ta-ta-ta-ta.
who was spending almost $1,000 on
Yes.
Sam's Club
Do you-
website
do you-
in her office. You know who you are.
Okay, I thought you were about to talk about the article we just read. There's an article I'm linking in the show notes. It's about this lady from Dallas who's apparently struggling to make ends meet with her. Let me read this to you. Hold on,
You
I gotta.
know what I'm gonna send that lady?
Yeah.
This.
What?
Don't forget,
Don't forget where you belong.
See, at least it's a recycling bin, okay?
Okay, so there's a trend going around with the Wall Street Journal and a bunch of these online news articles where they take people and they just analyze their finances and how much money they have. They analyze this lady and her fiance, and she's supposedly like barely getting by or whatever. And this is her salary, $120,000 a year plus $80,000 bonus, and her fiance makes $120,000 a year as well. Her twice a month paycheck is basically $4,000, and her fiance's biweekly paycheck is $6,000.
So they're pretty much living off of how much? Like $300,000 a year,
Over almost $400,000
Okay.
a year.
and they can barely make it by.
I wonder why. And then they go through
That lady be shopping at Sam's. I'll tell you that.
they be going. So they go through each.
She might have a Costco membership, but she be shopping at Sam's.
Yeah, they go through a day in the life of how much they spend each day. In one day, on a Monday, they spend over $1,000 in one day. On the Saturday, they followed the Saturday. On a Saturday, they spent $2,500 on a Saturday. These people be crazy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, right now I'm trying to justify spending $20 on a tripod for my phone because I don't want to pay $70 at the Apple Store.
Why aren't they just paying for it? Because you have to use it for the job. So why aren't they paying for it?
Because I'm going to use it for other jobs too.
Oh.
Because like if I get it, I'm going to use it to prop my phone up. See, okay, look, I understand spending a lot of money on things that you need for your job or you need for yourself. Okay, you need a car, spend money on a car. If I needed a laptop, like when I did, I saved up the money and spent a ridiculous amount of money on getting a laptop that's going to last me 10 years. Okay, but you don't need to be out there like this lady was. You're buying designer leather pants and then spending $280 on a meal for dinner and then going for tacos after. Did you not fill yourself up?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I'm already peaking. Every time I get upset, my little peak meter goes higher and higher, 1 decibel at a time. Okay, I think we're done. We're done complaining. I am upset.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
Okay, we're
I
done.
can't think right now. If you are a massager, can you massage me?
If you are a massager, please massage me.
My neck hurts so bad.
Okay. You want to hear something?
It hurts so bad.
Are you Wi-Fi? Are you? Because I'm feeling a connection.
Good. Stop. Okay, kill
Are you
us
a
every
bank
time.
loan? No. Yes. Yes. No. Because you have my interest.
Wait, I'm sorry. What now?
Are you a bank loan? No. Yes. No. Because I think we'll have interest.
A Bitcoin?
Are you a bank loan? No.
A
yes.
bank loan?
Yes.
Bank
no.
loan.
A loan. A bank loan.
Because you have my interest.
This Indian TikTok is great. Hold on. Is this one?
Life is like riding a bicycle. If you fall, you will fall. Life is like riding a bicycle. If you fall, you will fall.
That's speaking.
I do not get. He's always throwing bananas at people. I don't get the thing. Here it is.
Is your name Wi-Fi? Yes. No. Because I'm feeling a connection. Is your...
Hold on, one more.
No.
Are you a trash? No. Yes. Yes. No. Because I want to take you out. Are you...
So that's how the Indians get the girls.
And
you
that's-
call them a trash can, you
Who
take them
gave
out.
India Wi-Fi? Let's take it back. Okay. Well, I think that's all we have to say. Out of the 2 hours that apparently been recorded, 2 hours and 34 minutes and 49 seconds, I don't think
Please
maybe
someone help
10
me. That hurts
hours,
so
maybe 10
bad.
seconds will be saved from this.
Who knows?
I guess you can follow me on TikTok at Grandmammy Corban. Sofia is on TikTok at
Nothing.
at Tybot is Sofia.
No.
And I'm
Not
on
with that, bud.
I'm on the Instagrams and the Twitters at Corban Garcia, and Sophia's on the at Instagram at extra_Sophia, and on Twitter at extra Sophia, and anything you see her tweet is actually me.
Yes.
When I enter giveaways, that's me. I mean, if this episode gets released sometime soon, I guess you could
yeah.
come see a musical I'm doing. DM me, I'll send you links. I will be traveling I'm going to be on tour this summer.
No, you're
Come
not.
see me along the California Zephyr route of the Amtrak. I will be at every stop saying hello, be there to greet you. You know what? I'm going to do this.
No.
The people who don't listen to this podcast are going to be completely confused. I'm going to post like those Instagram influencers, and I'm going to say, I'm going on tour this summer. And I'm going to put all the stops, because it stops in a bunch of major cities like Chicago, San Francisco, Denver. It stops in Hot Springs, I think. It stops in Boston. I'm going all over. This summer on tour, catch me all across America. I will wave at you through a train window speeding by at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, like those trains go that fast.
Yeah, they do.
Buddy, they go barely 20. They can't even get a ticket.
When they come
okay?
through Dallas, they're going like 5 miles an hour.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Anyway, I guess that's all I have to say. If anyone wants my thoughts on the High School Musical, the series,
If you live in LaGrange, Georgia, I'm going to there.
she's going on tour.
No, just for like 3 days there. Yeah. Also, if you don't live there, or well, if you do live there, but you have good restaurants, tell me, because I can't find any.
I am on a 2-day tour in Atlanta on March 17th and 18th. Catch me there. How about that? I'll be at all the Chick-fil-A's.
See, while you're over there getting Chick-fil-A over there, I'm getting Chick-fil-A over here for free from the child who spends so much money on Sam's Club, whatever.
Because I'm a Red member, so that's a big deal.
But I get it free just because I'm cool.
Okay, I keep trying to end this and I haven't ended this. So what am I going to say? I'm going to
Stanley, 16 feet.
I'm going to scroll through here. I'm going to pick something random. I pulled up a New Year quote that I wrote down like 14 years ago, I guess, from Gordimer. New Year's Eve, a time to take stock of the last 12 months, to think of what we gained or what we've lost, about relationships that have changed or loved ones that stay the same. And it's a time to look forward, to wonder what the year ahead has in store.